What's up, fellow collectors? Welcome back to the M.I.B. Master Toy Museum. I'll be your curator today. Guys, we got a good one for you. Fellow collectors, we have a very intense one for you. Guys, today we're going to be talking about the modern day action figure, the vintage action figure, the action figure. Have we come to a point now as really as the collecting community where the action figure is on the verge of dying out? And before you guys jump on me and say, MIB, what's in the coffee? I just want you to hear me out on this, because I've been crunching the numbers, guys. I've been listening to the forums on different groups and Facebook, different collector clubs, you name it. And I've been listening to this type of talk and information for quite some time. Some of it's obvious, and some of it needs some explaining. So let's go to the obvious. Guys, this video is being made to try to make sense out of our hobby that we love so much as collectors, our action figures. But have they lost their luster? Have they lost their pizzazz in collecting them? Now, you're going to say, well, no. And you're probably going to say no if you were born in the late 50s, 60s, 70s, and maybe a little bit of the 80s. You're going to say no, because I'm going to say no, because I was born in the 70s. But guys, we are a dying breed. We are becoming the dinosaurs. Our action figures are becoming dinosaurs. The younger generation, the millennials, if you will, could care less about action figures. How can we prevent our action figures, or the action figure, from becoming extinct? How do you prevent it? How can we stop it? Guys, if you're just joining us, we got a good one today. The death of the action figure. However you want to paint it. You know, I talked to a collector about a week ago, and he had a fantastic analogy to what's happening with the action figure realm, the market, if you will. What's happening, he said, is basically you have a bunch of middle-aged guys, collectors, men and women, that are the sole support system, financial support system for this hobby. That's it, guys. If you're in your late 30s, 40s, late 50s, and maybe early 60s, that we're it. That's it. That's it. So who are the toy companies catering to as far as the action figures? It's certainly not the younger demographic, because the younger demographic is being swayed by all of the modern day technology and social media toys of their generation. The iPads, the smartphones, the tablets, all this stuff, Xbox, PlayStation, Fortnite. Imagine trying to pull your kids off of Fortnite. Difficult, isn't it? You think they got time to sit down and stretch their imagination around an action figure? That's a question, guys. It's not rhetorical. That's a question. Do they? Do the younger demographic have time for action figures? That's the big question. The scarier question is what happens when our generation pretty much dies off. Because let's do the math, guys. I can collect the action figures until the day I die. Okay. But I'm practically 50 now. I'm practically 50 now. Guys, your thoughts, your opinions, how can we fix it? How can we get the younger demographic excited about our hobby? Not their hobby, our hobby. The action figure genre belongs to the kids of the 1950s, 60s, 70s, early 80s. But we are a dying breed, guys. We have fantastic companies like Mego that caters to the collectors. Well, we know they as fantastic and as powerful, as charismatic as Mego Corporation is. I don't even think they can reach the kids. I don't think they can reach the younger demographic. I think if they could, we would have still had our Migos in the toy section. Now we're in the retro section. What does that say about us, guys? I guess we're retro. Guys, we're just trying to make sense of all of this. Relaxing down here in our museum today. We're trying to understand what's happening to the modern day action figure, the vintage action figures in general. Extinct in 10 years, extinct in 15 years, 20 years? How much longer does the action figure have? Because we know one thing. We know one thing. He's fading fast from the toy shelves. What I see that's being labeled as an action figure, to me, is a joke. Plastic toys with no articulation, plastic toys with very little imagination put into them. No originality. You don't believe me, guys? Walk up and down Walmart's toy aisle. Walk up and down Target's toy aisle. You tell me what you see. I bought my son, because he's a big Fortnite fan. See? He's a big Fortnite fan. My Guyper man here. Hold on to this. Hold on to that. You're going to need it, buddy. But my son's a big Fortnite fan, and they got action figures now. They have action figures of Fortnite figures. And he's got this guy called Mr. Tomato Head, which basically is maybe a 4 or 5 point of articulation figure. His arms move up and down. His legs move out and back. His head moves side to side, albeit it is a very large head. And my son, he was excited about it. But he was more excited by the fact that it was a Fortnite figure. This is the figure that he uses. This is the character, I should say, that he uses in Fortnite. No place for an action figure in my kid's life. No place. And it's not from a lack of trying on my part. It's just that it's the media, social media age with all the technology at the younger demographics' disposal. When we were kids in the 1970s and 60s and 50s, it was fun to imagine your action figure saving the world from your backyard. Guys, if anybody has any ideas how to stop this process, deterioration process, the extinction process, we want to know. Leave it in the comment section right underneath this video. How can we make action figures more exciting for the younger demographic? How can we make our kids want to purchase Migos and the Guyper Men and the other action figures out there? How can we? You know, because I've been thinking about this. I've given it a lot of thought, guys. And unfortunately, it always ends up back at the same point of thought. There's no way we can stop that process. The extinction process has started, but it started a long time ago. It just didn't just start a couple years ago, a couple weeks ago. It started a long time ago. We've all thought about it. We've all thought about it. Think about it. Hot Toys, Sideshow Collectibles, Mego, any toy company you can think of right now is geared towards the older demographic. I'm not going to buy my 12-year-old son an $800 Sideshow collectible action figure. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to buy an $800, but that just goes to show you they're adult collectibles now. Somewhere, some point, it stopped being a toy. It stopped being fun. And it became all about the older demographic. But guys, we're trying to figure out how to nurture and grow our hobby for generations to come. Because I got news for you guys. I got sad and horrible news for you. We are the last collectors. Our generation, we're the last collectors. I'm sure some of you guys out there say, no, my kids are, they like toys. You know what? We need more than about maybe 10 or 15 kids. Okay. You know, so another collector said the other day, you know, these action figures that we're getting now, our Mego figures and these other high-end action figures, won't be worth nothing. They're not going to be worth anything. They're only worth something to our age demographic. Just to the kids from the 70s and the 60s. Our memories. These are our memories, guys. These are our memories. Not our kids' memories. It certainly won't be our kids' memories. These are our memories from our childhood. Our kids' childhood will be remembered. They'll remember their childhood with Xbox and Sony PlayStation and all these gadgets, digital gadgets, as opposed to walking into a brick and mortar store and seeing, like one of my subscribers said the other day on a video, a G.I. Joe video I made, just the pure joy of being able to walk into a store, a toy store, and see these figures sitting there on a toy store shelf. The pure joy as a kid decades ago. Think about it, guys. Food for thought. It was on my mind. I wanted to run it by you guys. Is this the end of the action figure? Is the action figure running out of time? Being pushed out by today's technology? Food for thought, guys. Food for thought. You know the routine, guys. God bless. And keep collecting.